What's up, y'all? What's going on? Little Manny in the background. He just came in my room, y'all. I'm trying to get these children to learn to sleep in their own bed, not my bed. And don't mind my hair, y'all. I've been cleaning. Not giving myself no love. Well, I lied. I have been giving myself a lot of love, actually. Been clearing my head, clearing my mind, getting in a better space that I needed to be in mentally. I feel much better now, y'all. I do. Getting into my word, I just been taking time, y'all. That was much needed. But I'm back, and I've been kind of like I've been in the word, in the chapter I've been in is Jeremiah, and it's like bringing so much, to the surface. A lot of things to the surface that you just kind of got to reflect. You know what I mean? Like y'all know my favorite Bible verse: "Be anxious for nothing." So if I'm not moved by the Spirit, I'm not going to just dive right in and jump into it. If I need to take that moment to really hear from God, then that's what I do. You know what I mean? If he say pause, I'm pausing. You know what I mean? I move. I move when God say move, and that's just what it is. But I'm glad to be back, though. I am, because y'all know I got a lot to say. Y'all know I love to listen. Y'all know I love to talk. I got a lot to say. But for real, though, I've been in Jeremiah, and I'm almost done. I got like 5 more chapters to go in that particular book, but it's so deep, and it brings up so much that I feel like we should be talking about. Hey, Zai, congratulations on your job. I saw that you had a new job. Congratulations. I love you too, baby. I love you too. But it's just been a lot of things that I want to touch on, cuz it needs to be talked about. That's number one. It needs to be talked about, because a lot of us have. All right, now you go ahead, girl. Do what you got to do. I believe in you. But I believe that this particular subject we need to talk about, because a lot of us have turned away from God. Now, this is the understanding that I begin to have, right? A lot of us like to do things that make us comfortable, right? Being a follower of Christ, you're going to be uncomfortable. You're going to have a lot of uncomfortable moments that you're just going to have to accept. Understand that when you walk in a certain path, you're going to feel uncomfortable at some point. You're going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to be, like, just like the people. Have you ever heard, like, there's always going to be rules? You don't never want to be in a place where there is no structure. You know what I'm saying? When you're walking with Christ, there is structure. There is structure. So you have to understand that people are going to persecute you. You're not going to be able to do certain things. You're going to be tempted to do certain things. Like, these are all things that come with walking with Christ. And a lot of people give up on it because it makes them uncomfortable. But it's like, think about all the grace and mercy that God gives us. He wakes us up every day. He provides. He's miraculous. He sends miracles when we don't deserve it. So at this point, like my pastor Pastor Ismingle said on Sunday, which really make me, sometimes, of course, when you go to church, it help you evaluate, like, dang, that do make sense. It's like, look at how much God sacrificed for you. What are you going to do to sacrifice for him? What are you going to give to him? What are you going to surrender to him? You know what I mean? A lot of us, we won't even surrender to comfortability. Like, we won't surrender the things that we're attached to, just to give our life to him, to become a true servant of God. It's one thing to know the word. It's one thing to do praise and worship. It's one thing to pray. But does your life reflect your lifestyle and what you're doing reflect it? Are you being a true servant of God? If God say, don't go there, but you really want to go there, and you don't go because God said don't go. If you really love a person, but God said this person is not for you, I need you to leave them. Are you willing to make these sacrifices for God? A lot of us won't do that. But we will say that we're servants of God. You can't be a servant of God without surrendering. When he say to, you have to surrender completely. A lot of us are like Pastor Michael Todd said, we're lukewarm Christians. Like we're halfway in and we kind of out. But you got to be all in as a servant of God, a true servant of God. You like, he gives us grace and mercy. And it's so funny because as I'm reading Jeremiah, it just shows how, he brought the children of Israel out of Egypt. He brought them out of Egypt. He sent them into a land flowing with milk and honey. You know what I mean? And then they turned to a different God. They started doing their own thing. And that's what a lot of people have done. That's what a lot of people have done here these days. They've turned to other things, turned to things that make them comfortable till they can still live and do as the world does. But that as a child of Christ, you don't do as the world does. You don't. Not to say that temptation not going to come your way. Absolutely. But you got to be so embedded and strong in God that you don't allow certain things to move you. And if you feel like you having a battle within about the decisions that you need to make, then that means you need to go to God and talk to him about it so he can help you to make that decision. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to surrender to the things that make us comfortable. Because as a child of God, we're gonna deal with a lot of uncomfortability. Like, every day is going to fluctuate up and down. Like, one day might be up, the next day might be down, another day might be up. Next, you might have a great week, then next week might not be so great. Like, these are things that we have to learn to cope with, but understand it's all for a reason. God don't just allow stuff to just be happening to us, and we really have to grasp that. Because everything, if we look, we really have to change that mindset into thinking, oh man, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is it that I need to learn in this moment? What is God trying to reveal to me? What is God trying to teach me in this moment? Have I drew back from God too much? Have I shifted from his will to my own will? You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to understand that, because sometimes we so caught up in the motions. We so in the motions to the point where we losing track of where God trying to take us, and we going our own way. But you always want to go where God is trying to take you, because his way is way better than your own. It is. And that's the truth. That's the truth. And sometimes it takes for us to draw back to make sure we're on track and doing what he needs us to do, because his plan, he's created a divine plan for each and every one of us. He's created a divine plan for each and every one of us. And the more that we anchor onto him, the more that we get closer to him, the more that we move in the direction that he needs us to move in, the more our own will begin to align with his will. And that's what you want. You want his will to align with your own. To align with your own. And that's the space we need to get in. You know what I mean? And I promise you, like, You might have some down days. I have down days. Last week was like, I had a day where I just like was like, man, I just feel like overwhelmed. But I sometimes you have to just draw back and just get your mind right. And that's okay. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Because we gotta live life and be sane in this life. Like, it's a lot going on. So sometimes you just gotta just fellowship with God, get into your word. I'm telling y'all, it's a living word, y'all. Y'all will read it and it will, like, whatever God leads you to read, it's like it will help you flow and understand exactly what you're going through and how to find a solution to what you're going through. Like I said, the children of Israel, God told them, first of all, God sent Jeremiah to let them know what was about to go down. He literally sent a prophet and spoke through the prophet. And when he spoke through Jeremiah, people thought he was insane. People thought he was crazy. They tried to kill him. They persecuted him. They put him in a cistern. They put him down in the little hole where to die. But God, of course, he had favor over him. So God sent somebody to come and get him out of there and talk to him. But no matter how much he tried to tell these people what was about to go down, they was not listening. They wasn't listening. And that's what a lot of us do. God will literally send people to tell us, send all types of stuff, just like send prophets to tell us what's about to happen and stuff like that. And we'll ignore it. Like it just don't mean nothing. Like, well, I'm still going to go about my life and do what I want to do. Okay. But just know that somebody warned you. Somebody warned you. And then the thing is, after warning them, after they tried to persecute him, after putting him in prison and everything, they started to see things happen. And even still, after they said, okay, at this point, we're sorry. They killed the king and everything. They was like, okay, what do we do? What pray to God, ask him what he want us to do. Because God been said, repent now before it's too late. He said, I'll have a little bit of remorse for you if you go ahead and repent. This was way before things started transpiring. But what did they do? They didn't want to repent. They thought Jeremiah was crazy. They like, man, this man, they wanted to kill him, everything. They was like, we got to get rid of him because he keeps saying this crazy mess. But then they was going to other people, false prophets. They was going to false prophets that was telling them, oh, no, everything's going to be fine. No, everything is not going to be fine. You guys have made other gods your idols. You guys are doing everything you're not supposed to do. Everything's not going to be fine. You're about to feel the wrath of God. And Jeremiah can't get God. That shows that alone right there shows how much grace and mercy God has on us. He will send somebody to stop us from what we're doing, and still we'll keep on getting into it. Keep on doing whatever we want to do until something hit the fan. And it's like, oh God, we need you now. And that's exactly what the children of Israel did. After things started to transpire, after the Babylonians came to take over, burnt down their city, everything, then they like, man, please pray to your God. And then still decided to do exactly what God told them not to do. But God did let them know, even because you guys are my children. You're still my children because I still love you. And that's the thing about God. He loves us that much that he'll still have grace and mercy on us, because he could have just slaughtered everybody and said, y'all done. But he didn't do that. He said, even though I'm about to put y'all through something, I'm going to still bring you out. You're going to have to it's going to be 70 years before I do, but you got to reap the consequences. I want you and understand God's reasoning behind doing things is so that when he does bring us out, we will appreciate him more. We will love him more. We will understand, okay, this is why God did this. He did this to discipline me. He didn't do this to hurt me. He did this to discipline me. Understand God's idea of just like our parents will punish us so we know better. So when we know better, we do better. Same thing with God. When you know better, you do better. You know you don't want to be in this under somebody's reign and, you know, taking over. How you go from being king of everything to now you underneath another person that's telling you what to do. That's not a good that's okay, put it up there. But that's not a good feeling. But God will humble you. That's how God is. Good morning, y'all. Quinn and Guap G's. I'm sorry. But God has a way of humbling us. And then the thing is, we'll wait till the last minute to say, okay, God, what do you want me to do? He was like, man, I've been trying to get your attention before we got to this. But now, since I got your attention, here's what's about to go down. Yeah, you're going to suffer a little bit. Yeah, you're going to hurt a little bit. But I'm letting you know now you're going to be all right. As long as you stay with me. As long as you listen to me this time. Yeah, no problem, honey. No problem at all. But that's exactly what happened to the children of Israel. That's exactly what happened to the children of Israel. And we got to understand that God's job. Thank you. I appreciate that. But God's job is not to punish us and like just kick us in the dirt. He wants to discipline us so that we'll be humble when we do things and not get big headed and a lot of things. God would do that. You know what I mean? He wants to discipline us so we're prepared when. And the thing about God is once he disciplines you, he will elevate you. God will elevate you after he discipline you, after he make you go through all these things. That's how much our God loves us. And we have to understand that. Think about all the people that are successful right now. They had to go, a lot of them went through a hardship, or a lot of them faced a lot of trials and tribulations before they got to that success. That's God's grace. That's his mercy, because he truly loves us. He truly loves us. You know, I think about the guy Eric Thomas. He's like one of the number one motivational speakers in the world, black guy. And he talks about his story, how he was homeless, eating out of the trash and things like that. Now he's the one of the number one in the world, not just America, but the world. You see how God will carry you? It might not seem like things are happening fast enough. It may not seem like things are coming together like you want them to in the moment. The world might seem like it's against you in the moment. But understand, when God brings you out and he elevates you and he lifts you up, he ain't just going to lift you up a little bit. He going to put you on top. But you got to stay anchored to him and trust his process and understand all that he's doing within in the process that he's putting you through. He's only doing it to elevate you, to push you towards your greatness. A lot of us don't even know how great we are. A lot of us don't even know the things that God placed inside of us so that we can be a benefit to the world. A lot of us don't know. But if you seek God and you ask him, God, I may not see myself the way that you see me, but help me to see myself the way that you see me. So that way I'm moving in a direction, and I'm not just moving, but I'm walking the walk. I'm talking the talk as if I already know who you created me to be. And once you get in that space and you got that confirmation from God, can't nobody tell you different. Can't nobody tell you different. Once God say, oh, it's a go, my creator, the creator of all humanity, the creator of the heavens and the earth, you can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. And people might think, they cocky. No. I'm just confident in who God said I am. And I stand on that. You don't have to see me the way my God see me. You don't have to see me in the light that I see myself, because God gave me confirmation that this is how he sees me. So I'm going to walk in it as if I don't care if I'm there yet. I know I'm going to be there, because guess what? God gave me that vision. God gave me the vision. So I know where I'm going, but I'm not going to let another one of God's creations tell me what the creator told me. You know what I'm saying? And you got to stand firm on that. You got to stand firm on that. Like, you got to walk in it like, I know I'm a chosen child of God. I know God ordained this lifestyle for me. It might not be that right now, but oh, it's coming. Straight up. You got to have that. I call it Godfidence. You feel me? Like that Godfidence. Like you just know. I'm confident in my God. Y'all got to understand. I'm confident in my God. And there's nothing that can make me feel otherwise. Straight up. I love God. Because man, y'all just don't know. He's brought me out. And I just think about how I used to be one of those, which I'm still working through. I used to be one of those people who just let emotions sit on me all day, all night, like just let it sit, you know. And last week I had a moment of like the enemy was trying to work on me, y'all. He was trying his hardest. He was trying. And spiritual warfare is so real, y'all. When you child of God, spiritual warfare is so real. The enemy will try the minute, like I don't know who I heard this from. But I heard it from somewhere. It said, if now you and God can be sitting at the table, right? And you and God, y'all got y'all plan going. But if you allow the enemy to sit at your table, just sit there. If you allow him to sit there, you giving him too much. You've given him too much, because he going to take that little bit and turn it into whatever he can. He going to take that little bit and turn it into whatever he can to take you way off track. And I was allowing him to do that for a moment. And I was just thinking so many negative thoughts just back to back. Like, what the world? Like, I was considering myself a failure. And I'm crying. And I'm like, man, where is this coming from? Like, this is not me. And this is not me. And that's why I was like, man, nah, draw back. And I felt like God was just like, draw back for a minute. Because you need to replenish that energy. You got to replenish that back. That good energy that come off of you. You a representation of me. That's what God was telling me. You a representation of me. My child not going to sit here and call themselves a failure or say they're not. No. And sometimes we have to just draw back from people, places, things, social media, whatever it is that's trying to play in your mind. You got to draw back. Get your mind back and go back, come back to it full force. You know what I'm saying? And it's necessary. It's necessary, man. It's necessary. It's necessary, y'all. Just trust God, man. Don't wait till you at your wit's end. Don't wait till you at your wit's end. You know, some of us wait till we just all the way broke down. Yeah, we might have some bad days. We may have bad days. I'm telling you, they're going to come. But understand that you don't have to stay there. You don't have to stay there. That's a choice. It's a choice to be depressed. You know, that means you've allowed, you're too far gone. You went down a path and that you should have just withdrew from. You should have found something that would keep you from going down that road. You know what I mean? And that's, a lot of us just need to seek help. We just need to get the help, whether it's, you know, getting somebody who is trustworthy to talk to, or going to therapy, whatever it is that you need to do to keep yourself in alignment, especially in these times, because it's going to get hard. You're going to have some days where you're like, man, I don't know what's happening. We just don't know what's to come. Like, I remember, like, for instance, the shipyard, a lot of people, I know a lot of people, especially in VA, work at a shipyard, and they have times where they'll hire a bunch of people of people because they got a lot of work going on. The minute that work stopped, you losing your job. You know what I'm saying? You want to be prepared. You just want to be prepared mentally, physically. Like, you want to be able to, when things like that transpire, and that's just an example. When things like that transpire, you want to be prepared for those type of things. Not just physically, like money-wise. You want to be prepared mentally. That's why you got to anchor onto God. Because this world is unpredictable. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen next. We just don't know. Things are just happening. Like, we can wake up one day and things are just transpiring. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. And so because of that, because of the uncertainty of the future and what the future holds, we got to be anchored to God, man. We do. You know, some things, the things are going to transpire. God is going to allow a lot to happen. He is. God is going to allow a lot to happen. But you want to make the changes now before it gets bad. Sometimes God will bring you to your knees if he has to. Just for you to surrender to him. And you don't want that, man. You don't want that. It's going to make you stronger. I'm going to tell you that. If don't nobody know, I know. God, he'll bring you to your knees, but he going to make you stronger. It's going to make you stronger. And that very thing that if you're able to overcome that, it ain't going to do nothing but make you stronger, and it's going to help to elevate you. I promise you. I'll put that on everything I love. God he will bring you to your knees just to lift you back up. He will replenish your strength. He will renew your strength. He will do that. And you might get weak and weary, and you might not trust people, but he will renew your strength. And when he renews you, you're going to be like a force to be reckoned with. Because you're like, man, I done been through the famine. I done been through the hard times. So it ain't nothing that can knock me down. That's how you going to feel. Like, you really going to feel like, man, God got me. If he allowed me to overcome that, I know he going to help me to overcome this. And then you're going to have another situation. You're going, hey, Kim, how you doing, love? You're going to be like, okay, all right. So, and you just going, every little trial that come your way, you just going to be like, man, it's nothing. I got this. God got me in this. Seriously, you just going to know how to just conquer things. Like, just know how to just flow with it. Because you know that God got your back. You going to know. Like, that's just how God is, man. We got to trust him, man. We trust in everything else, man. If you want to trust in something, trust in God. Trust in God. Trust in his ways. Trust in him. He going to carry you. People change every day. People going through their own trials. Even family members. People change. Like, what's the guy on that movie? He be like, die every day, B. No, people change every day, B. Like, that's how I feel. People change every day, B. Like, 1 minute somebody can love you. And the next minute a person can despise you. Seriously, I was telling my daughter that, like, all it take is for you to elevate or start doing better than a person. Somebody will love you when you on their level. But the minute that you begin to elevate and start to do better, they'll be trying to plan your demise. Do you hear me? They loved you when you was beneath them or when you was on their level. But the minute you started leveling up mentally, physically, whether it's money-wise or in your mind, people, trust me. You want to anchor on to something that don't change. God is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. He ain't changing. He going to be the same forever. Like, he ain't changing. So you want to anchor on to him because he ain't changing. His word is his word. What he say does not return back void to him. He is always going to be the same. The way that he loved you now in your sinful nature, he going to continue to love you when you become a servant of him too. He going to love you the same. The way that he love you right now is not going to change. It's always going to remain the same. God is going to always love you exactly how he loves you right now, where you are right now. But to understand that his love is unconditional, that he loves you like every day he wake you up and he give you another chance. He give you another opportunity because he love you that much. He love you that much. He like, man, my child, I just want you to get it right. So I'm going to let you continue on because I just want you to get it right. I'm giving you the chance. I'm giving you the opportunity. He loves all his children. He does. He don't love one more than the other. It might seem that way sometimes because you'll see other people, but understand you don't know what people go through to get what they have. But trust me, if you do the work, God don't have no problem. He said, seek his kingdom and everything will be added to you. Everything that he feels like you deserve, he'll give it to you. That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. His grace is sufficient. Like, y'all got to understand. We think we just waking up every day, living life. Like, no, God is giving you a chance to get it right. That's what he's doing. Because guess what? Somebody didn't make it today. Somebody didn't make it yesterday. Somebody didn't make it. It's not going to make it tomorrow. Look at what's happening around us. You could just be in the wrong place at the wrong time. You could be in your house. A stray bullet come through you minding your business. You just living. And a stray bullet come through your house and that bullet comes to you. That's why you got that like showing God, giving God thanks and showing him gratitude is so important. Because we take that for granted. Because we have this mentality of, oh, no, it ain't going to be me. Oh, not me. Why not you? Don't grow that mentality. Oh, it ain't going to be me. Oh, it ain't. We have that mentality until it's us. Until we in that situation. Until we ain't got no choice but to plead to him and ask him for his grace. Some more grace than what he been giving us. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you, I'm just the messenger. I'm just a messenger. And this coming from a person who done did a lot, good and bad, a lot. So I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest, man. But I wouldn't change this walk that I'm on with God for the world. This one lock won't do nothing what I want to do. I need to retwist my hair, y'all. But you just want to make sure you anchor to God, man. You do. These times it's unpredictable. God ain't changing. He gonna be the same forever. God gonna remain the same forever. And we want to make sure that we anchor on to him. You know, and y'all know what I be having, like, I be thinking about. I be like, man, like, kind of reflecting on my life. Like, I've done a lot. And I used to be like, dang, I started, hey, LaToya, hey, Queen, how you doing? So I used to sit back and think, like, I started partying at a young age. And I was doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of a late bloomer. Well, I wouldn't say a late bloomer. Some people start smoking late. But when I was 17, I started smoking. Like, I know some people start way earlier, especially these days. But, like, lost my virginity at 14, 15. Like, just kind of reflecting on those things, right? And I'm just like, man, I went through a lot. Like I was kind of way ahead of myself. You know what I'm saying? But I sit back and I'm thinking, I'm like, man, I'm about to be 29. I'm about to be 29 in October. And I just reflect and say, dang, like, why did I start so early? But now I think about it, it's like, man, maybe God needed me to start early because he knew that I would really surrender to him in this time. Like at this age, about going into my 30s. So I feel like, man, because I went through so much in my 20s, I know like my 30s is going to be like way different. Like, like I don't know if y'all understand, but I just feel like my 30s is going to be like thriving 30s. You know what I mean? Like really living life, because now I have a full understanding of life and how it works and what's important and what's not important. And you know what I mean? Like, you know how your parents always say, well, them things ain't going nowhere. You want to get yourself together. But sometimes life have to teach you itself in order for you to really grasp it and understand it. And I feel like now I really grasp life and I really understand it because of all the things that I went through. And now, like, moving forward, like, it's go time, baby. That's just how I feel. Like, it's go time. Like, my focus is so different now. I feel like my focus is so different. Like, it's like, man, I don't have the desire to do the things that I used to do no more. I just don't. And I feel that we should get to that point where we like, man, and if you look and see all the things that's transpiring, it's like, man, we gotta shift our focus. We gotta shift our focus into focusing on the things that's important, because we don't know how much time we got left. Like, we wake up feeling like we got all the time in the world, and we put off things. Now I got in the habit of when I want to do something, if I have it in my mind, do it right away. Don't wait. Don't say, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. No, start now. Because if you come up with an idea, then you sit on it, you wait on it, you procrastinate, and it's just like you may never fulfill it. So do it. And I want to even like, that's why I say I want to get to a point in my life where if in my finances and everything, to where I'm just so focused right now. I don't have time to be knocked off of my pivot. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's like, and that's how we should be. Like, we should be like, man, like, we should be able to wake up. We have an idea and we can, boom, act on it right away. Start writing stuff down. Like, that's what I do. I'm focused, man. And Eric Thomas said this. He said, you can't have what you're not focused on. You can't have it. If you're not focused on it, then you can't have it. If you're not focused on becoming a better person, then you're not going to be a better person. If you're not focused on learning how to maintain finances and things like that, then you're just not going to have balance in your like you become what you're focused on. If I'm saying I want to be wealthy, if I'm not focused on wealth, if I'm focused on social media and scrolling and if I'm saying I want to have a better relationship have a good relationship with my children, if I'm not focused on them, how am I going to have those things? I won't have it if I'm not focused on it. So it comes a time where you got to say, I got to eliminate the things that's really not important to me. Seriously, we got to get to that point. We got to get to that point where we say, man, I got to focus on what's really important. Seriously. We got to get to that point, y'all. I know I've been up here for a while. I'm actually about to get off so I can go about my day. But I thought to just come up here and just give y'all some motivation, man. I appreciate you, Guap G's. Guap G's. It remind me of, or is it? No, it is Guap. I don't know why I was thinking Guap, but it's not Guap. It's Guap. But yeah, y'all, man, get focused, man. Get your mind right. Um, you know, apply pressure. Get focused. Focus on getting your spiritual life together, for one, anchoring on the God, because I told y'all you want to anchor onto something that's unshakable, that's not going to change, and that's God. God alone. The thing is, God don't need nobody to make him who he is. He is who he is right by himself. So you want to anchor onto something. People change every day. People change every day, B. Okay? That's my new thing. People change every day, B. All right? And that's just what it is. People can love you for 10 years straight, and then that 11th year decide they don't like you no more. I'm telling you what I know. So, love people for the season that they're with you. But after that, after you see the transition, if you don't see straight love, the love and support and things of that nature, sometimes it's time to let them go. Straight up. Let's be real. I'm keeping it a buck this morning. Like that. I just came up here to keep it 100 with y'all. That's it. That's it. I came up here to talk real talk. That's it. For real. Get anchored to God. You can't move him. You can't shake him. He don't need nothing added on to him to make him feel any more greater, any more less. Trust me. He gonna be by himself. All right. He the same to yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and in your future. He gonna be the same. So you want to anchor on to him. Okay. That's number one. So get your spiritual life in alignment, man. Start focusing get your priorities straight, man. Your priorities. Sit back and think about, what am I putting ahead of things? Am I putting my kids first? Or am I putting this first? Am I putting money, then my kids? Or no, you should go around, like, really evaluate your priorities. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's what we got to do. We just got to reprioritize things and really understand and focus. Think about what you want in life. Then say, okay, that means I need to focus in on this. I need to focus in on that. And then just arrange your priorities in what really in the order of what matters to you. Once you organize your priorities into what really matters to you, then you dedicate time to each one. Dedicate time to each one throughout your day. Okay, I'm setting aside time for my kids. I'm setting aside this time because this is my making money time, because that's important to me. God should be your first, the first one that's number one. This is time set aside for God. This time set aside for my kids. This time set aside for my business, my projects, my hobbies, whatever. Just prioritize your life in the way that it's going to make you happy. And you want to live a happy, passionate life that you enjoying. I'm not saying that life got to be boring. No, it doesn't. Life is supposed to be fulfilling. It is. But you can do it in a way that pleases God, though. Bless you, baby. You want to do it in a way that pleases God. All right? I love y'all so much. Y'all take care of yourself. I can't say when I'll be back, but if I'm led to come up here and speak a good word, y'all know I'm gonna come back with the Bible study this week too. We in the Gospels, we definitely need to understand the when God was here. When Jesus came, because Jesus was our perfect example, y'all. We gotta understand that he was the perfect example. He went through everything that we went through. Everything that we go through, Jesus went through, but we have to follow the way that he responded to the things that we go through, because that's the same way we should be responding. We sometimes, now God not expecting us to be perfect, because he didn't make us all perfect. He made Jesus perfect. But We have to understand. We have to begin to respond in the same way that Jesus responded. And we're going to get more into that. But I love y'all so much. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Tuesday. Peace.